Hello guys, and today is the second lecture of our Python IDLE. So today we will be learning about the if, elif and else condition. So what is if, elif, else condition? When there is multiple condition, we have to use if, elif, else, which is also known as if, else ladder. So I have even taught you in the last lecture how to open a new that platform and the ideally shell our programming which we do, the answers on the things which we are doing on the main platform, the answers will come on ideally shell. So let's start today's lecture of if, elif, else condition. So we use if, elif, else in, for example, I have a variable a and I keep 1, okay, then I take a variable b and keep the value as 2, then enter. Then if I say it that if a is equal to b, then this and this must print or something like that. So if we use this, if a is equal to b, all the if conditions will come in yellow color like this. If and there must be a colon, this sign. Without this, there will the if condition, the while condition, loop conditions will also not work. So we need, this is the one of the most important symbols. Then if we enter now, there is one tab distance from here to here. So now I print under bracket if I use this a comma and then is equal to b means comma b. We are using this comma to separate this sign and this sign, because using this sign now we can actually put a variable. For example, in last class we have put c, like that only we are putting a, but when we have to do this in one line only now, then we need to put a comma in between and then write this and then once again a comma and then b. So if I use F5 and I will give it name, I am saving in desktop. If I give it name Python class 2, Python class 2, then I entered it. See, nothing will come because a is not equal to 2. So as we know, a is not equal to 2, a means a is not equal to b, then the answer, then it will not print this. If on the other hand, if I use else does not need this type of things. It works like this. If the if condition does not work, then the else condition will work. And then same colon, enter, print. We will copy this, Ctrl plus C, and here Ctrl plus V is not equal to B. Then if I do it like this, yes, see, 1 is not equal to 2. Today we will also learning one more thing about how to use this we are giving, but it is not user friendly that much, because the user cannot type directly in the code. So we put here a data type. Data types are of 4 types. Int means integer, float means integer like but in decimal points, string for all the hashtag and alphabets and addition, subtraction, everything comes in that only. And char means character. It is only for alphabets. So if I want this to be given by the user who is using the code, then I print int under bracket input. Then this is int is also a function, not function, yes, function, and the input is also a function. It is a build-up function. So, and inside it we will write what we have to do. For example, I write enter your first number. Enter your first number equal to. Now, if I use F5 and then enter, then yes, see, it is asking me enter your first number. Now, I, for example, put 2. Then it will say as 2 is equal to 2 because I have not kept the value of b. So the b is taken as 2 as I have given to it. Now I will do the same thing here. And we will change this into second. Now if I ask it to the code, then it will first ask me the first number. So I will give it, for example, 20. And then it is asking me the second number. Then I will give it 30. Then it will check in first if condition. Then it will check that 20 is not equal to 30. Then the condition will run false, and it will check the another condition, which is else. And else, because it is else, and if it's not working, then it will print that 20 is not equal to 30. See, 20 is not equal to 30. Then what is elif? Elif is actually when we do one if now, then for example, I have to add one more thing. For example, I add this. Okay. If a is not the sign of not equal to is like this. We use first exclamation mark and then equal to. B, if a is not equal to, no, we put the exclamation mark afterwards. Yes, if a is not equal to b, then it will print this. But as it is if now, then it will check both at one time only. But we don't want it. We want this to check first and then this to check second. Then I will add elif. And when then I use this, syntax error. Okay, this is like this only then. F5, enter. Yes, see. Enter the first number, then I will use return 20 and enter and 30. Then in this step now, it will first check the first number is what, then it will check that the user has given it 20. The second number it will check, it will be 30. Then it will check in if condition. In if condition 20 is not equal to 30. Then it will go in elif condition. but 20 is not equal to 30 is true condition. Then it will, then also print that 20 is not equal to 30, like this. And if I do it one more time to show that 20, enter, 20, enter, 20 is equal to 20. Now with this we have used all if, elif, else. There is one more, which is nested if. Nested if means if we are using once if, okay, then we have to know that in that if condition there is one more if condition. Then we will use the nested if. Nested if. When we use conditions within conditions, it is called nested if. That means inside the body of if, one more if comes. Now for example, I do a code. Now I want to make a code in which I have to check that for example, a is equal to int input enter your number, enter your first number. First number, and then I copy this, Ctrl plus C, enter, Ctrl plus V, and then I use here B, and then I use here second. Now I have to check that if A is greater than B, then for example, I have to make a code, and I have to use that if the code is divisible by 2, then if the code is divisible by 2, it must print that the code is this number is divisible by 2. For example, I use if A divided by 2 means remainder. For remainder we use this sign, modulus sign. Divided by means modulus 2 means the remainder must come 0, is equal to 0. We have to put this in this quotations because it is not any unit given before, so we have to give it in quotations. If is equal to 0, and that colon, if is equal to 0, colon, enter, print A is divisible by 2. A, comma, is divisible by 2. Then for example, I have done it like this. Then I want to also check that if it is even divisible by 6, then we will use nested if. If modulus, where is modulus? Yeah, if modulus, if A modulus 6 is equal to is equal to 0. This means we are giving it a nested if, that if the, yeah, see, for example, now I have written a if first, then I have put one more if inside this. So then it must print Control plus C, and then here enter Control plus V. A is also divisible by 6. There are many uses, but I am only showing one of the examples. You can even do it if I put it back now, then also it will work. But if I want to, for example, I have to make a code in which if the first code, if this is possible, then, and if this is also possible, then the last one is possible, and then print this and this also. So we do it like this, and now if I put F5, enter, and it will ask me the first number. Then I will put it 2. Enter. A modulus 2 is equal to 0. For example, I put 6. It's going wrong. I think so. If enter a number, if A modulus 2 is equal to 0. What if I remove this quotations? If I enter equal to, for example, I write number 4. Yes, then we don't use quotations over here. The quotations are used when there is a certain variable used. For example, I have put here a password. If I have put a password A is equal to 123, then or password is Apple, then we can't write Apple directly like this. We have to write it in quotations. I will show you. Now we're doing that also. Now, for example, if I put here if I put here, wait, if I put here, if I enter, yes, if I put here the number 18, then it will give me two things. 18 is divisible by 2, and 18 is also divisible by 6. Because first when it is actually detecting 2, that it is divisible by 2, then it will also run with, then it will check that another condition is true or not, and then it will run there. Now the next thing we will do is we will see the match and case one. In this, actually, in match case now, we use in match and case, we try to match the value from the variable of a particular value, means one number or alphabet, like that. For example, if I use a variable A is equal to if variable a is equal to for example key, okay, then and I put in under quotations, enter, then I will use match. What we have to match? We will not use directly this. We will use A, then colon, then enter. Then for example, case 1, enter. For example, I have put key. If it is a key, then it will actually check for example, if I put case 1 as key, case 1 print key, print the bracket key. See here, for example, I change it with key, okay, and then yes, see, if A is equal to key, then match will be A and A is key. If case is equal to key, means it works actually like the condition one. Then if case is equal to key, it means that A is equal to key, then it will print key. Key 1, okay, key 1. And if back, if case is equal to, now case is lock, enter, print this thing, lock 1. Now as I said you that it works like if condition, then it will first see what is A, then it will put it here, and once it will be here, then it will try to match the cases. For example, A is equal to key, then it will print this key 1, but A is not equal to lock, then it will not print lock 1. For example, I will show you a demo. Key. Okay, we will use quotations. I said you na that the quotations are not needed in numbers, but it is needed in the word alphabets we use. For example, now if I enter, then it will see, it will printed key 1, and for example, I change it in this in lock, then it will print lock 1. See, it works like this. We will make one more coding on this. For example, if I use this as input, okay, by the user, then A is equal to int under bracket input, and if enter month number, okay, okay, enter month number is equal to, see, means it will work like this. If January is denoted by 1 in our calendar like thing, then then the January is denoted by 1, February by 2 and December by 12. So if I write here, if I know now I don't need the quotations because I am using numbers. Okay, and I change this with 2 and I use here Jan and Feb, and I will use this till December. Then case 3, enter, print March, print MAR, then case 4, enter, print April, then enter backspace, case 5, enter, print May, and I will use C plus B, and I copied it. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 2 more. This 2 plus C plus B. Then it is 11, and this is 12. Then I will change this in May, June, July, August, September, October, November, yes, and then last one, December. Yes, then I have written A, the number of month. For example, if I entered the number 7, 7 is July, then it will print July. Now I will show you the demo. F5, enter. Then it is asking me the month number. Then I will give it 12. Then enter. See, it is giving the month December. Then what if I type here something more than 12? This is even possible. So for that we have one more condition, case default. Case default. By this case actually we can It means that if there is nothing between 1 to 12, means it works like else condition. So if there is nothing between 1 to 12, then it will use the default, and we will print here invalid input. Invalid input. So for example, a person types 1, then the person types 13, then but the 13 is not the number, then the case default will act as a else condition, and it will give us invalid input. I will show you the demo. F5, enter, and for example it is asking me now, then I will give it 22, then it will show me invalid input. See, so this is all for today. We had learned about how to give the user input, and match and case, nested if, and if. If you liked my video, please like and subscribe. And that's all for today. Thank you.